Abu Trica is doomed for good. And this time, there is no backdoor, no miracle, no big man upstairs who can save him. This is not vibes, this is not noise, and this is definitely not one of those empty social media speculations. This is reality knocking hard. For months before his dramatic arrest, wicked blogger Ghana consistently warned Abu Trica to tread cautiously. We didn't whisper it in corners. We didn't hint it in riddles. We said it plain, loud, and direct. Slow down. Clean up, or you will be picked up and dealt with. Sadly, like most people who think the system is a joke, he laughed it off. He thought wicked blogger Ghana was just clout chasing. He thought we were exaggerating. He thought our sources were imaginary. What he didn't know, and what he is painfully realizing now, is that real ones and true hustlers know wicked blogger Ghana does not lie. We don't post for hype. We don't publish fairy tales. When we drop something, it is because the information has already landed on our desk, confirmed from multiple angles, and validated by people who matter. Everything we post is factual, even if it takes time for the public to catch up. Before his arrest, many people were asking questions. How does a man live that kind of lifestyle without a visible source of income? How does someone move around with confidence, connections, and muscle, yet leave no financial footprint behind? Those who understand the game knew something was off. Earlier, wicked blogger Ghana reported that the feds were struggling to prosecute Abu Trica. Not because he was innocent, no, but because he was strategic. There was little directly tied to his name. No active bank accounts, no clear transactional history, no flashy properties registered under him. Everything was layered, masked, and outsourced. To the untrained eye, Abu Trica looked clean. To the system, he looked like smoke, hard to grab, impossible to pin down, and for a moment, even seasoned observers began to wonder whether he would slip through the cracks. What Abu Trica failed to understand is this: the system does not always move fast, but when it moves with purpose. Behind the scenes, the Economic and Organized Crime Office was not sleeping. They were not confused. They were not frustrated. They were watching. And when EOCO watches you quietly, it means they are building something bigger than what the public sees. Led by the sharp, methodical, and highly intelligent Raymond Archer, EOCO had a plan that even Abu Trica's inner circle did not see coming. This wasn't about paperwork. This wasn't about bank trails alone. This wasn't about documents. This was about people, because when money leaves no trace, human beings always do. Little did the public know, and little did Abu Trica suspect, that EOCO had successfully planted or flipped them all, an informant from within. Not a random snitch, not a street-level talker, but someone deeply embedded, someone who knew the routes, the codes, the meetings, the players, and the exact mechanics of the operation. This informant is now standing as a key witness against Abu Trica and his alleged network. And once that happened, the game ended. Because no amount of money can erase testimony from someone who was there, someone who participated, someone who watched the moves being made in real time. According to sources familiar with the investigation, this witness didn't just talk. They provided details, dates, names, methods, communication patterns, and most importantly, how the infamous $8 million scam was allegedly executed, step by step. Let's be clear, $8 million is not a joke. This is not petty fraud. This is not boys street hustle. This is international level financial crime, the kind that attracts attention beyond Ghana's borders. When money of that magnitude moves, it triggers alarms. When victims start talking, pressure builds. And when pressure builds, agencies like EOCO do not play games. Sources say the scam was carefully structured, layered through fronts, proxies, and intermediaries, a classic attempt to make accountability impossible. But again, people make mistakes, and those mistakes often come in the form of trust. Someone trusted someone too much. And now, that trust has turned into evidence. At this stage, anyone still shouting Abu Trica will walk free is either uninformed or deliberately lying to themselves. With an insider witness, digital trails, corroborated testimonies, and international interests quietly hovering in the background, this case is no longer about public perception. It's about legal reality. Unlike before, this is not just circumstantial. This is not he suspected. This is structure, linkage, and cooperation. And that is why we at Wicked Blogger Ghana are saying it boldly. There is no way Abu Trica is escaping this one. Not today, not tomorrow, not through connections. Let this be a lesson to everyone still moving recklessly, thinking they are smarter than the system. You may dodge today, you may confuse them tomorrow, but the system never forgets. It watches, it waits, and when it strikes heavy. Wicked Blogger Ghana didn't warn Abu Trica because we hated him. We warned him because we saw the storm forming early. He ignored it. He laughed. Now the storm has arrived. This is only the beginning. More revelations are coming. More names will surface. More details will shock the public. If you think Abu Trica's arrest happened overnight, then you don't understand how power really works. This was not a random pickup. This was not luck. This was months, if not years, of quiet intelligence gathering, silent surveillance, and psychological chess. The biggest mistake Abu Trica made was believing that because nothing was happening publicly, nothing was happening privately. That is the first trap many so-called smart operators fall into. When the noise goes quiet, that's when the system is most active. Yes, Abu Trica tried to live like a ghost. No bank accounts in his name, no flashy assets directly linked to him, no public business records screaming wealth. Everything was indirect, layered, and masked through trusted hands. But here's what the street doesn't tell you. You can erase money trails, but you can't erase human behavior. Phones ping, people talk, meetings happen, patterns repeat. According to intelligence-linked sources, investigators began mapping associations, not assets. Who meets who moves where, who benefits when money lands, who suddenly levels up after certain deals go down. And slowly, a picture began to form. Long before the public heard anything, pressure was already being applied. Quiet invitations, friendly chats, strategic questioning. Some people were released, others were kept uncomfortable. Sleep was disrupted. Fear crept in. That's how cracks begin. Not everyone in Abu Trica's circle was built for heat. Some were there for the money. Some were there for protection. Some were there because they thought the lifestyle would never end. When reality hit, loyalty started thinning. And that's where Yoko played their strongest card. Let's correct something. This wasn't just a snitching situation. This was a controlled cooperation. The informant didn't wake up one morning and decide to talk. The system presented options, consequences, evidence. And when faced with real time, real years, and real outcomes, the choice became simple. Sources say the witness provided detailed timelines of alleged operations, names and nicknames tied to specific roles, how funds allegedly moved and were disguised, communication methods used to avoid detection, and how Abu Trica allegedly coordinated activities without leaving fingerprints. This is not he said, she said. This is inside knowledge that only someone close could provide. This is where many people still don't get the seriousness of the matter. The alleged $8 million scam is not just a local embarrassment. It has international implications. When foreign victims are involved, when cross-border transfers are suspected, when reputations and institutions are affected, pressure doesn't just come from Accra, it comes from outside. And once international interest enters the chat, things change fast. Suddenly, files move quicker. Suddenly, tolerance disappears. Suddenly, connections stop picking calls. Have you noticed something strange? No bold statements, no loud denials, no aggressive PR push, no dramatic counter-accusations, just silence. That silence is not confidence. It is calculation. It is people realizing the weight of what is coming and trying to figure out how much damage control is still possible. But at this stage, damage control is a myth. Because when a case reaches this level, it is no longer about one man. It is about sending a message. There are people reading this who are nervous. There are people who suddenly deleted chats. There are people who stopped answering calls. There are people who are reconsidering alliances. Because if Abu Trica could be touched, anyone can. The era of thinking you're untouchable because you're smart is ending. Intelligence has evolved. Surveillance has evolved. And the system has learned from past failures. Once again, let it be on record. Wicked Blogger Ghana warned early. We didn't wait for handcuffs before talking. We spoke when it was still preventable. Abu Trica didn't listen. Now the price is higher. And trust us, this case is far from over.